The reverse memory brain hack. Forgetting names is easy. So easy everybody can do it. But there is a way to remember names. First, you choose the very first thing you notice about them. Their clothing, a physical feature. This is only an internal reference, so it must be honest, not necessarily polite or even kind. Then when you hear their name, you come up with a goofy picture that connects their name to that initial reference of them. This is a skill that takes practice. The hardest part is turning their name into an object, something you can memorize and connect to their physical features. Here is an oversimplified example. Suppose you see a guy, and the very first thing you notice about him is that he's got a huge nose. And a huge nose with long nose hairs, and his name is Mike. So you think, nose hairs, Mike, nose hairs, Mike, nose hairs, Mike. And you come up with a picture of a guy with a lot of tiny microphones on cords hanging out of his nose. Very easy. Most names won't be so easy. This requires you spend some time practicing connecting not so easy to visualize names to actual objects. This is a very powerful skill. Being able to remember names is a very useful and attractive social skill to have. But the point is that it takes 3 levels of practice. 1, to practice connecting regular names to objects. 2, to practice making the connection between the object and a physical feature. 3, and most importantly, you must make a conscious decision to remember their name before you hear it. And you must put in deliberate conscious effort to remember their name. Most people treat memory as a passive process. Like their names slip right in, and then later with some kind of magical mind powers, their name is supposed to pop right into your mind whenever you want it to. Imagine if you actually studied for an important test like this. You listened to the information passively. You made no effort to solidify it in mind. Then you took the test and got an F. Would you conclude that you can't remember things? No, you would conclude that you are the laziest studier in the class. All memory is an active process. However, unless we are studying for an important test, we like to imagine that it's a passive process. Consider this idea. Everything in your brain that wasn't information you needed to study for a job or career or any kind of academic credentials is likely false. Unless you took some time to actively put that information in your brain, it's as accurate as all those names you can't remember. What does this mean? Here's the good part, the really, really good part. Active memory works in reverse as well as forward. What? You can go back and choose what events from your past meant, as well as being able to change the content. And since your future will reflect what you think happened in the past, not what really happened, you can build any future you want by rewriting your past any way you want. To learn how, visit mindpersuasion.com/custom-history.